It is technically 6:45 on the dot. Okay, well, I will call the meeting to order at 6:45 on January.
Who's doing the minutes?
Oh, who is doing the minutes? That was supposed to be on the agenda. We did it last week.
Oh, by the way, I will have to duck out for a few minutes after 7 to take some meds, and then I'll come back in. I'll get out of the meeting for a few minutes, and then I'll come back into the meeting, if that's okay.
Probably my turn.
Thank you, Linda.
Do you mind doing it tonight?
I don't love to do it, but I'll do it.
You know, if you were chair.
No. Beth, maybe done it last time. I know it wasn't me.
Yeah, well, if,
I think you did it last time, didn't you?
no, he got skipped. I think he's coming up soon, but
Okay, so it's my turn.
I don't think we need any introductions. Everyone knows everybody. We'll describe anything added to the agenda that's not on your current. I will take the silence as a no. All right, so back entrance beautification ideas. Julie.
Well, I've just been throwing them out there, and I was hoping to have the hall board and particularly Dennis input on just the possibility of even doing anything. Those big new processors, I don't even know what they're called. Those are particularly unattractive. But I've noticed that in Lewiston, Auburn, on the corners of streets, they have metal boxes and things, and they painted them and put decals and stuff on them and made them look more attractive. And I don't know if there's a prospect for these to have fencing or anything like that. I really haven't heard anything, so I just wanted to get that out there generally. Looking at ways to make to make, we're just talking about making the back entrance look more attractive. But I don't have lots of specific ideas at this point. I just wanted to make sure that it might be a possibility before I went into it too deep and started looking.
Well, why don't we put it on a Ask Dennis list? And so we can say, what can we or can't we do?
That's the purpose of this meeting. Also, I was, do you know, has he talked about that? Isn't it really the hall trustees' decision, what could be done?
Haven't had a meeting. We've had one meeting that Dennis has attended in the last 6 months.
Well, it's, yeah, that's tricky. But anyway, one of the things for the ideas would be the additional book return / interlibrary loan docs, which is, it's out there, but it's horrible and it's ugly. So that might be one of the things that could be done, is to have someone craft a better looking book return for the back. We've got one out front. And then maybe combine the interlibrary loan box with that. Back entrance, it could go along, even this hallway mural could be considered beautification, because the hallway that is, opposite from the entrance, it basically backs up this circulation wall, is just blank cinder block. And I was thinking, maybe we could do a mural in there. I mean, one idea I had was spines of books, which would be relatively simple. That's just another.
That's at the back, is it?
Well, that would be inside the building, but it's coming in from the back entrance. I mean, you come in from the back entrance, and it's never as dressed up as the front. So I'm looking for ways to be more attractive. And it could start right in the parking lot to the entrance to the inside hallway.
And who would paint?
We'd find somebody to do it. I don't know if you would have a community volunteer or if you hire someone to do it. But all those are secondary to, whether I'd be even allowed to pursue those. So I haven't really given much thought as to who would actually do them.
Would you be willing to make it into like a competition for, high schoolers or middle schoolers? They could submit a possibility and then.
You think it with her, that you, and sometimes we get pictures in town. It feels, and the bar, those are, they're all, but the kids did, high school. Our teacher. Yeah.
And I know that there are decals and things like that people can get for, you see them for the stair risers in your home, things like that. So there's probably things like that out there. I just didn't want to make a lot of hullabaloo about it if it wasn't a possibility. So who controls ultimately the trustee board?
What was that, Linda?
If there were a competition to, with the students, say, to come up with some structures or some pictures or beautification, we do have a prize fund that is hardly in use. A prize fund that we only use for the fair so far. I don't know if that would apply if we had a student competition for beautification.
That could be really cool.
We'd have to vote, all the trustees, to do that, and we'd have to consider what the competition was and how it might benefit the town.
A topic you could cover at one of your regular all trustee meetings, sounds like.
Yes. I guess we'd need a proposal first.
Supposed to be in February.
First.
Still in February.
My suggestion might be, we're gonna have a competition, is to not limit it to students and have it community-wide. I'm sure we have really good art students, but we have a small school, so with a pool of art students, so in any particular year, and if you limit yourself saying the best out of the school versus the best out of the community, is hopefully will be there for quite a long time, and then you're kind of forced to have something maybe that wasn't the caliber you were expecting, but they were the best of what was submitted. And then especially the prize money, that might get more submissions. I think we have a lot of artistic people in the community, might limit it to Monmouth or Monmouth like Cumston patrons, something along that line would be my suggestion. I like that. Yeah, I mean, if they're really good art students that are, upperclassmen or whatever, have a lot, they'll be with the rest, will be, I think, they shine if they're deserving versus if it's
Rise, yes.
versus if it's just student only.
So Doug, you would like the library to provide a proposal before your February meeting so you guys can discuss if it's possible. Okay.
That's great.
Julie, does that seem like you just sort of, I think it'd be pretty.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Yeah.
Doesn't be too common.
We need to hear back from Dennis about if he can see any ramifications about doing, that we're not thinking of or whatever.
Okay.
Look, it's our chair.
Lynn's chair.
Trustees.
Okay.
Yes. Did you see that? Yeah. Okay.
See what?
I've seen in my house a lot. So
Oh, for the mouse?
yeah.
Eat the cookies, guys, quick.
Yeah, but I know that, that's why the traps are everywhere.
Well, it's that big gap under the doorway.
Okay.
Lemon.
You're seeing so much at home, you're seeing it.
That veto. Yeah.
I have to tell you a story. I was on the phone with my chimney cleaner. Trying to arrange for him to come. And a mouse ran over my lap. And I screamed in the phone.
He never forgot.
Did I scream on the phone with you?
think maybe,
when the man walked into my house that I was not expecting.
I think so, yes. I was like, getting ready to call 911.
He was my contractor.
Just walked in.
He never did that again. Sorry, Linda, there was a mouse.
What's that?
There was a mouse. We had to talk about the mouse that we,
Just
Just-
ran,
yes.
just ran through the room.
Oh, okay.
okay, so roadside signage, post paving and road work.
That's a ways away, because we're in the very early stages of sidewalk stuff. It's barely even,
Years away.
well, probably, we're just starting to look at ideas and plans, you know, mainly about the engineers started looking at, you know, the, coming up with an engineering design and sidewalk plan, and the state has just said that they're, you know, contributing their part of that, the project, plus they need to do, the state will do new drainage, new grates in the road, so there's, you know, a million working parts. I don't think we're at the point where we're picking what we're gonna have out there for signage. Cause
I think-
that's a couple of years away before even the project's completed.
And the signage would have to be after the fact, right? There would be a
Yeah.
reason of doing it during.
No, no.
Yeah, so see, that came up just in conversation of like, it's an ongoing, it was looking for you guys as being both here and the other.
Yeah, it's so much for it.
What the times of it was.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there discussion a few years ago too about possibly shifting entrance to the whole hall?
Yeah, I think that that was brought up, but I think that it was,
Problematic.
well, I think that it wasn't brought up by our board or the select board. It was brought up by other folks that thought it might be a better way to change how you come and go from this building, but, I don't think that that's on the radar unless it's something the engineer brings to us to change the flow in and out of this parking. But, you know, there's a lot of things about parking and how parking needs to be and layout and all of that, but
I think we'd also be handing over the fact there's a cemetery. and
yes,
you can't really
exactly.
excavate
You
just.
can't really just go over there.
And it's a big change in elevation
Yeah.
too, so
Yeah.
that would create additional problem.
Can we make a note that we'll add that to the 2027 joint trustees meeting agenda?
And if for some bizarre reason we start having that discussion as part of our engineering plans, then I'll reach out to you and let you know. Right.
Code
Or work in progress, isn't it?
code for shared office door.
Yeah, I don't know if that is going to become a coded door. But I would just put in a plug for the library to be able to get into other parts of the building, like it comes and goes, my ability to get into the theater. Sometimes I can get in, sometimes I can't. I was glad a week ago Friday that I was able to, because that windstorm blew in that other stained glass window. And I went in and the wind and the rain driving right into the theater. And, you know, rain and plaster are not a good mix. So I just kind of, without going into the hallway, I just popped the footers from the window doors and shut tight. Coming in, but it would have been another hour at least, I think, before Dennis got here to fix that, but, and it's hard for me, like, people come in and want to see the building, and if I can make time in my schedule to do it, I'd like to show off the building. But the other day, I couldn't get into the theater because the code changed.
Okay, so that's what it's dependent on. There's a code that you,
Well, Dennis
Sometimes
sets
have
the
access to.
codes and changes them, and sometimes, give it access, and sometimes I'm not. But I do think, you know, the library director who comes after me, maybe they won't be as familiar with the building. But, I do enjoy showing it off and people like seeing it's their building. I just want to make sure about, you know, codes, if we're talking about codes, to me, if the building manager isn't on site all the time, it's important for, I think, somebody else to be able to get into rooms. You just never know. I mean, I knew when I was sitting there and heard the things in glass and everything, I knew it had to be a stained glass window. But I wasn't sure which one it was. Luckily, I was able to get into the theater and do that. So, anyway, just a plug for having access. That's, you know, that's what they were for, right? The codes is so the friends of the library can do the books, they don't need to be standing out in the cold, they could have a code. And do that.
But I don't understand why maybe there can't be codes that, like for some people have a permanent code,
Right,
like you or
yeah, the director or somebody in the library staff.
that, I don't know how that thing works.
Like, I don't know if the town officials have codes, the doors.
Well, we used to have codes, you have a thing on your phone.
Yeah, I have the app on my phone and I can come into this back stairway with it because I opened the door for other meetings for people before. I can open the caucus hall door under the porte cochere.
So if you have the app, you
Yeah.
can get in even if they
Only
change,
if I'm given permission to those doors. So
but like in the moment or in advance.
I don't have to get it in advance. I have the app on my phone with the
Okay.
doors that I'm allowed to go into. So
Could we do that then? And you get the app?
I don't have that kind of phone, and the town isn't going to supply that, but the point is that,
Smartphone. You have a job phone.
yeah,
Yeah.
very,
Does the town supply like cell phones
No.
to any?
No,
Okay.
no.
no, I already asked. No, it has to be pre-coded, you have to be given a code permission
Yeah.
to get into any of the coded doors.
So if you don't have a smartphone with the app, then you have to use a code to get it. And if somebody has been using that code and that code has been shared with multiple people, and then those people that had that same code shouldn't be using it anymore, then the code gets changed.
Okay.
It was like the problem we had when there were 250 keys in the world out there that could get you into this building because they were never returned or brought back or given back or wherever.
Under the map.
Yeah, so
Apps, I'm not great with apps and my phone's fairly dumb too. Tablet or laptop, can you access it through an app?
I didn't that
I'm given a code, I can punch it in,
Yeah.
as long as the code is authorized.
the act.
And that's my point, I want to make sure that I know the code, or that my basic code for the library is authorized for the other.
I don't see why that can't be. And also, the department heads have, like I know, public works director was given a town phone. Was my son-in-law who was public works director, he had 2 phones that he had to worry about.
I did ask them, because everybody had a phone, and they said it wasn't essential. So, I don't want to fight about it, I just want to be able to get in the building if I don't want to fight the town to give me a phone, that isn't what I'm after.
So we should just ask Dennis for a protocol on when he changes that code to make sure that you are told when it happens.
There's a code for you that work. I mean, you know, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever, that will always be 1, 2, 3, 4. But
Yeah, like a Julie code. We
And
can
that's
leave
what I
it
have to the library and the doors. But that code is not applied to the other code doors, and so. It's just tricky, like, if I want to let my senior ladies in on a Friday afternoon. And I don't have the code to that front room, the lovely room, then that's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll just talk to them about it and say that we talked about it. It's just, I think it's a matter of more than convenience, even really safety and But I had no idea what to expect when I went up in that windstorm. It was crazy.
Okay. Well, we can find out about that. Solve that, and then benches for the trail. This is, you wanted to just find out if it was possible for us to get. If we had like a story walk. Yes.
I don't think benches came from me.
It may come from what, I think it was on, we talked about, I don't know if it's directly from Julie, but from one of our previous meetings.
So it's from us.
Yes. it's
Can we,
from-
yes, so we're just asking, would we have benches if we wanted them on the trip?
We've never discussed it, so we'd have to.
Okay.
So
That's probably on
the
our-
thinking behind it is that beautiful trail, we're talking about possibly putting another story walk, so chew on that one as well. But then people in the summertime getting a book, going outside, sitting on a bench, reading, you know, being one with nature, whatever you want to call it, it'd be nice to have places to sit down beside the rocks, which I really enjoy that. It's almost like a little park area and have a place, and so it's part of the outdoor reading, outdoor living, outdoor stuff, whatever. But benches would be nice, because not, some people come where people walk and the people need to sit.
Yeah.
So,
It's the library.
yeah, the friends,
I think, yeah, we could pay, we're not asking you to pay for.
We're
them.
asking for
We're
permission.
asking, please.
so, yeah, if it's a problematic, you know, like what kind of benches. and
We don't need to know anytime soon.
No. Yeah, but
Tonight, anyways.
No.
Sitting down for.
it's kind of a library thought and idea to help support and benefit our library patrons, however, where it's not inside the library proper, but outside on grounds. It falls on you guys to say yay or nay on it. And Dennis, to think about if there's anything we need to know, like the deciding benches, how big, what size, but if there's anything we need to know before we take that idea any further.
Yeah, Julie's been thinking a lot about how to expand the experience the library can offer to everybody, and we have the McCabe grant money, and so we've thought about like gardens or the trail, like, just so we've been coming up with many ideas, and we just kind of need to know which ones are possible, so we narrow them down a bit.
I don't
Be
know.
appropriate to
I'm not the tip master.
if made for the trail.
Yeah. I was surprised because I understood that the building itself wasn't eligible. But when I saw tip money used for the trail, I thought, oh, maybe there's other layers.
Regan's the master of what's
Yes,
allowed
she
with
would
the
know.
tip. I don't even venture to guess because it's so nuanced. I mean, it's very and very specific too. So,
And isn't it about to expire in a couple of years
Yeah.
or something? That's
Have
expired.
another, I think it was extended, so
Oh.
it would be another maybe, whatever, more than 10 years.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
A lot of good's come from that.
So add that one to your list, but you're in.
for February, so.
Anything else? Can you all eat some cookies now?
XO was up for sweet.
They're lemon.
Oh, I forgot. I mentioned it, but I don't think it made it on here. What's the status of the lighting upgrade, the LED?
It worked.
They're working on it, that 117's done, because I've been in there. I'm not sure
They're
really
doing all the buildings,
if every building will be done, so,
but we don't have a plan. We just know that it's done.
Yeah.
So that's great.
yeah, and I think, you know, I was in there before Christmas in 117, and I walked in and the lights started like, came up and were brighter, and because they have dimmable features and they shut off when nobody's in there, and there's all new control pads. So,
Wow,
yeah,
fancy.
exactly. So you'll have those lights that go to sleep when somebody's not in the bathroom, and then when you walk into the bathroom, the lights come on and scare you because you're like trying to find the switch, but the light comes on. So, you know, those are good things.
To say off, you could also turn. it
Oh,
on for, like,
exactly.
yoga.
Yes.
That would
Oh,
be
yes.
awful.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. They have all the controls, but you know, if you're having a function and nobody's in the bathroom except at the beginning, and then at intermission, you know, the lights are sleeping, and you know, because they have that ability too. There's all kinds of controls on when I went in there. saw what they had, and the fixtures are very nice and attractive.
Those used to freak me out in Hannaford, like, they do when those freezer
Oh, with the
cases.
freezer
It's just
cases.
dark, and if they go, one's broken, and as soon as you touch it, it senses you and puts it on. Now I use for the first few times that that happened. It's like, you know,
Then we want it, right?
The Winthrop PD, we used to have meetings up there. They had meetings. That all through the upstairs.
I've never been. I think it was years ago.
And what's going on from the hall trustees? Do you guys have a lot in the works or?
No, like I said, Dennis hasn't gone to any of our meetings. Only one meeting in the last 6 months that he's attended. And I don't know why, because, I mean, they're scheduled far enough ahead so that he can plan, to work around it.
And you and I had had a couple of conflicts that.
Yeah.
We couldn't be there, so it was like, well, if I wasn't gonna be there, you can't have me.
So the next one is set for February. Do you know
The
that?
first Thursday in February, whatever that is.
it's my birthday, so I know.
I was like, why do you know that?
It's Christmas is over, it's birthday season.
And celebrate. Yeah.
Mhm.
My mom had 4 children and 3 of them were born in February. I know my February, it's like that.
The next Friends Library meeting is next Monday.
I would just sent out an email this
Is
evening.
is it Tuesday?
January 12th,
Monday.
so it is Monday.
And I got a conflict.
Because we had our
So I got a,
1856 meeting.
yeah, Chris's meetings,
1856.
It's for the,
Yeah.
The academy.
the Monmouth Academy.
You'll-
Did I hear that we seem to be adjourned now?
Pretty soon, well, we probably could because we're riffing.
We've gone through the whole agenda, it sounds like.
Essentially, yeah.
All right, so I move that we adjourn. And second, okay, all those in favor?